This one's probably our most difficult example in this section, so bear with me here as we go through it. So what I have is 64 to the t to the third power minus 0.5t. So I'm going to split that up. So if you remember, if you have a to the m times a to the n, we could add the exponents. So same idea, we're just going to do 64 to the t cubed times 64 to the negative 0.5t. Now notice all these have, almost all these first two have fractions. So let's go ahead, since this is a negative exponent, I'm going to go ahead and place that on the bottom. So I'll have 64 t to the third power over 64 to the 0.5t. So does this match up with any of these? Well, not yet. Let's take a look. 64 to the t cubed. So let's just keep that the way it is. And then on the bottom, notice these are 8s. So how are they getting 8? So let's look at that 0.5. I could rewrite that as 1/2 t. In other words, let me just branch off of that one. So we'll have 64 to the t over 3 over 64 to the 1/2 to the t. Now we just got done with dealing with square roots. So rewriting that, that would be the square root of 64 to the t power. Then we'd have 64 t to the third power there. And so 64 t to the third power over square root of 64 is 8 to the t. Now, is 8 to the t the same thing as 8 to the 2t? No, and then we have 64t cubed. So this one's not going to work out. So I'm going to go ahead and put not equivalent for this one. Let's look at this, 4 to the 3t cubed. I think this might be possible, but we're going to have to rearrange the top. So I'm just looking at the bottom right now. And then 8 to the t on the top, no, it should be on the bottom. So this one is out as well. So let's go ahead and look at that top part and see if we can rearrange that 64 to the t cubed. So 64 to the t cubed, let's just think about that right now. Well, that's 64, we could write that. Notice they're using a base of 4. We could write that as 4 to the third power. We did that in a previous example. So 4 to the third power is 64, so let me just switch that out. So I'm just switching out 64 with 4 to the third power. And then that's going to be, well, you can multiply those exponents, so that would be 4 to the 3t cubed. So remember, this is just over 8t. And so yeah, this one checks off. This one works out.